Speaking from 21 South Street.
It is so much windy here today. Brass demands hell lot of effort to shine. A good round lump of tamarind pulp, darkened with age, a pair of swift, rugged hand, and a scrubber as worn out as the hands holding it tight. And of course, a lazy afternoon and a small quiet pond, round and still, waiting softly to give the brass lamp the final wash. Our Jathai Ma takes her own sweet time to clean it. And as I quietly sit next to the pond, keeping a safe distance from the depth, she stoops down further and further, laboring to bring back the long lost shine. As the thick, gooey coat of the pulp eats up the dark shadows cast by time, she rubs the ridges and the knobs vigorously, but her voice gets quieter, softer, and distant. To my distress, I have to move a little closer to the edge of the water, only to follow her thoughts. I can vaguely understand her speaking of a time when the pond was bigger and the water was probably deeper and crystal. সে কি পেল্লায় মৃগেল গোমা ঘাই দিলে দাওয়াতে শুয়ে শুয়েই ঠিক শোনা যেত. We could hear them even in the middle of our afternoon naps. The fishes, matured, sweet and round, dived deep in the depth. We could hear them even so far away. Not a very comforting story for an 8-year-old city girl who still brings a plastic mug to take a quick bath at the edge of the pond, while her cousins cross the water body with fluid strokes. They make fun of me, but Jathai Ma never. There were more plates laid on the floor during the lunch, and the chunks of fish served were round and big. Never liked the smell of fish, let alone the chunk being big and round. But even with all my aloofness for the steaming hot, stinky curry, I could see a pride twinkling like that shine on the metal she's trying hard to bring back. That makes my young, naive mind wonder and go in circles only to settle back on the edge of the moving water. A pre-Shoshti afternoon has a soft breeze which is neither sticky nor does it have the chill of forthcoming winters. Yet, it carries with it the heady fragrance of the pink lotuses from the middle of the pond. They almost cover the water, soft and fragile, inviting all the bees and wasps who buzzed all through the afternoon till they got tired and sticky with the sweet nectar. I long to have one, but like most of the beautiful things in life, they're always far away and beyond the reach of most. Only the brave hearts can cross to conquer, and once at reach, they lose the glory simply by belonging. Squatting at the bank, half listening to Jathai Ma and pepping at my own thoughts, I would see both our words, spoken and unuttered, getting wings and flying to the distant pink island floating on the water. The coconut laddus were made in hundreds. Hundreds, yes. Don't know who challenged her, but she reconfirmed with a warm passion as sweet as the laddus. Now, all of us gathered around the sticky dough, all young lasses, added a drop or two of coconut oil on our palms, and boy, oh boy, the dough was hot and sticky, and the palms got soft and pink. She laughed to herself and started to rub the lamp again. It was slowly catching the afternoon sun on parts of her dull body. The neighbors got them, all. They got laddus in 2s and 3s. The family, the friends, the poor, all had a fair share of Ma's blessings. With that, she closes her eyes and touches her forehead with her palms close together. The water dripping makes her face wet. So are her eyes, moist when she opens them again. Why do old people cry when they think of the past? I wonder. That's something I didn't know then, and neither could figure out now even when my hair reflects a strip of silver here and there. There is still some leftover afternoon sun hovering on this side of the bank, but I can see the evening peeping from the other bank. I get a little worried and shift my position. My legs hurt too and felt a little numb. It has been a while that she's busy with her impossible task. At morning, your mom, a newly-wed bride then, your Pishi and Kaki would sit around the basket and make the garland. The one which is the longest would win Ma Durga's neck. And how they giggled and chatted, and oh, how long was the garland. If you don't tie the ends together, it could make a round of the courtyard. My eyes became round with that. Both my eyes. What a whooper, I think. But then I see her smile, content and happy, and it never boasts of a false pride. Then, that very moment, I wanted to believe her. What about new clothes, Jataima? First time I get a chance to ask. She looks at me, half wet and shivering, a bit because of her tired hands and a bit because of the burden of her memories. Oh, yes, every evening, but the best was saved for Ashtami, not in Bijaya Dashami though. She nods her head and adds, the vermilion stains the sari and can't say goodbye to Ma without the touch of red. Can you? She doesn't wait for my answer. She beams and looks at the lamp, shining now with the last dip. The lamp is heavy and old, with rows of 100 tiny rounds to hold the thin cotton wicks dipped in holy oil. It will be lit during the last day of the puja, when the priests will chant their prayers, when the shell will be blown loud and the bells will be rung with a heavy heart. Your Jethu always took pride in this lamp. In the flickering light, I have seen so many times trying hard to hide his tears during the Bidai, the last prayers. She sighs. So does your dad. He cries too. She adds the last bit with a fond smile. She then cares the lamp, now glittering and shining with a labor of love, an heirloom of her husband's family. She was married young and lived in her new home longer than the one in which she biologically belonged. The light shining and reflecting on the lamp gets caught in her eyes, and I can see a woman, traveling long and lonely, holding on to a lamp as the evening descends on the quiet water around. A Rupkatha, a fairy tale indeed, a tale of every woman and her magic lamp. You were listening to Tales of the Evening Lamp from Letters to Myself by Piu Mahapatra. We will come back with another story another day. Till then, don't forget the address. It's 21 South Street. Goodbye.